started with graffiti.
Yeah, graffiti. Yeah.
Then you took it to other directions. But have you always kept this objective of reappropriation of public spaces?
Well, that's the thing. Most of us from a graffiti background have always started from that. I mean, myself, I've always been into drawing straight from reading comics. And then once graffiti came along, I had to do it. Met some friends who convinced me to go out painting and never looked back. It's always been whatever I did after that, whether it be illustration, graphic design, or designing someone's wall, murals, always had an element of graffiti about it. Usually it's the attitude that you approach a wall to, and it's kind of like, no matter what surface you're given to paint on, you kind of adapt and change to suit that surface. And that's the kind of graffiti mentality. You turn up somewhere, whatever you've got to paint, you do your best to paint in that shape. You get the right materials and you make it work no matter what you got. So with illustration and canvas and gallery shows, the surfaces keep changing, the sizes keep changing. So you have this mentality of doing it like a graffiti artist, and you will attack it and paint it no matter what size or restrictions you're given.
How do you conceive this exchange with public space planners such as architects or town planners or landscapists?
How do
you see this exchange, this collaboration?
Oh, the collaboration between us and architects and other people outside of this media. I mean, it couldn't be more, relevant now that street art has become sort of like famous, almost sort of like recognised again. So there's even more chance for the graffiti artists to work with everybody outside of graffiti, because we're decorators. It used to be in New York, everyone was decorating trains, if you think of it like that, and making the trains look beautiful, and it went onto the walls. Usually walls are so disgustingly blank and grey, everything looks downtrodden, you kind of mindlessly wander through where you live. But then the graffiti artists kind of make you realise that you're surrounded by all this environment. So yeah, now that if architects and people outside of that, maybe sort of advertisers got to work with us and we could put some new elements to it, elements that we try to put there all the time. If they work with us, it changes the whole structure of it and then makes everything look a bit more interesting, a bit more beautiful and modern. And we call this modern art. It should be modern.
And as an example today for this exhibition, how did you fulfill the influences in urban spaces as on the work?
How are we influenced for this show here? Myself and Remy Ruff, I mean, we basically painted in the same crew for 10 years in Iconoclast, and we always used to get together and everybody had a different style, but we painted productions, entire walls where we joined our pieces together and it looked like an immense mural, just straight away, freestyling it. So what we did with this show is we got some materials, we decided that was our limit. We painted on this paper the way we would paint a mural. So I did the characters, Remy was doing the graphics and the lettering, and we worked the same way we would on a graffiti mural. We kind of like structured it the same way and freestyled it as we went along, sort of like changing the shapes. I would do a character first, Remy would work around it, or he would do the lettering first, and I would adapt my character to fit. How would he fit inside that situation? And also the paintings today kind of represent us as graffiti artists, even though it's outside it. So it's kind of like an illustrative piece. It's illustrating the artist within the movement. That's why there's a lot of characters spray painting and tagging and doing the pieces. It's kind of like almost going back to what we're supposed to be. It's kind of like we're painting the graffiti artists outside of the environment, so it's captured. There's kind of like snapshots of the artists at work. I rambled a little bit.
You spoke as much as your friend before. So
I hope I didn't talk too fast.
Eh?
I talked very fast. I hope it wasn't.
Yeah, faster. No, I think it's okay. I could understand, so.